sharing this information as clearly as possible, so that way you can help the Hispanic market, right? They need your help, and I'm sure you want to increase those sales. So here we are. If you are live with me right now, share in the comments if you can hear this clearly. That way you get this information without a problem and trying to bottling into listening in the insights, right? If your software company is not selling to the Hispanic small business owners, you are missing out. When you do the research, in the last few years, the Hispanics have grown to 3.3 million business entities in the United States. Now, here's the deal. That lots of companies, as I mentioned earlier in the other video where the audio was not that great, they usually have a Latin American market team dedicated to learn the sales process and to gain market share in the Latin American market. They forget that the Hispanics here also buy pretty much the same as the other Hispanics in the other countries and the Latin countries as well. So you need to have a dedicated team here in the United States to be able to communicate the way Hispanics love to communicate in their native language. I have been consulting lately with small business owners, and I am the boots on the ground looking to see what their problem is on a day-to-day and looking to help them solve it. And sometimes I ask, why haven't you tried this software? Why haven't you communicated with this company? Why haven't you reached out? And I help them in the process. And some of your software as a service companies, you guys don't even have a phone number. And some of you that have a phone number, the phone number leads to a machine that gives like 10 options. And sometimes the option to speak in Spanish is like right away, but then there's like 10 more other options. And then it's like, if you want to speak to this department, press 1. Look, I'm not trying to stereotype my community in this manner, but look, a lot of people don't know what all these departments are all about. These are small business owners who have been focused, head down, in the trenches. They know their business. They don't know your sales department, your accounting department, your marketing department. They don't know that. Have a phone number readily available on your website where they can call and know that somebody will answer in Spanish. I say in Spanish because I'm talking about the Hispanic business owners, all right? As a Hispanic myself, bringing this insight to you to help you increase those sales quotas, to meet the quotas, to double the numbers, to gain more market share, and to help the small business owners. They are hurting because their businesses are not systematized with your software, because you are not helping them connect with you. You are focused in the Latin American market with your fancy team. Oh, I have a Latino market team. But what about the Latinos here in the United States? What about the Hispanics here in the United States? What about them? They have huge buying power. So you have to take advantage and be mindful of how they like to communicate. And no, they have dollars to spend and invest. They are your pretty much ideal clients, because once they trust you once, they're going to pretty much do business with you. And we know a lot of people. We love to talk with people. We will recommend. We will say, this is a miracle worker software. Help me systematize the business. So let's help the small business owners, Hispanics. Believe me, it's going to make a world of a difference if you can have an SDR, a BDR, an account executive that speaks Spanish to speak with the small business owner. Look, they look on Google, they search. I am the boots on the ground. I talk to them often and often. I know how they look for your software. And the problem is sometimes they don't even know your software with your capabilities, with your system exists. They only know they have a daily headache. They don't know that there's a pill for it. There's a solution for it. That there is something that is going to take away their headaches on a daily basis, that's going to help them systematize everything. And it is your software. But you are not doing what you could be doing. You are underserving this community. And the problem is, because you're underserving, you don't get to gain the financial gains that come with it. Please put together a team that serves the Hispanic community. And believe me, you're going to sell a lot, and a lot. Here in the US, have a phone number on your website that goes to a person, even if this is a call center overseas, as long as it's in Spanish, and they can ask their questions. Some software companies, they think that because they have some fancy person come in and put together a chatbot with a conversation sequence, they think that chatbot is going to answer the questions that these small business owners have. No, the chatbot is not going to do it. The chatbot is going to say at some point, put your name and your email and we will contact you. That's not the way a small Hispanic business owner wants to be dealt with, wants to be treated. That is not the way. And I'm sure it's not only for Hispanics. I'm only saying Hispanics because I'm Hispanic and this is the topic right now. But how would you like it? How do you like it when you are made to wait? What about when you go to a restaurant and you're hungry and they make you wait? Imagine, here's the small business owner, has a huge headache, lots of responsibility, lots of burden on their shoulder. They want to solve a problem, and they call your company because they have just a remote idea of maybe this is your software that is going to solve their problem, but they don't know. And then they talk to a company. Please have a person. Believe me, you're going to gain market share quickly. Have a dedicated team in your software as a service company that makes educational videos in Spanish at a high level. It doesn't have to be detailed because you can confuse them too. Again, not every Hispanic is like this, and I don't mean to stereotype my community like this, because lots of other small business owners of other communities pretty sure are on the same boat. But they don't know what they need. They don't know what kind of options there are. So therefore, they cannot even ask. How can they ask about something they don't know it exists? It is your job to educate the market, to serve them, and then you're going to reap the rewards, because Hispanic business owners, they generate a lot of money. If I do the research right now, and I'm not going to do it for the sake of time, and you can do this yourself, I'm sure it is up to the trillions of dollars in production as to how much spending and buying power there is. Do not ignore the Hispanic business owners. Serve them in the way that they like to be communicated to. And believe me, it will transform everything. Have the Latin American market team also have a dedicated team to do it here in the North American market. It's going to be a wonderful journey for you, for your departments, and for the small business owners as well. And may I add, have a team also dedicated for the other communities, right? Why not? How much more can it cost to have a dedicated person who will actually pick up the phone on the second or third ring and say, hola, buenas tardes, ¿cómo le podemos ayudar? Somos la compañía que les sistematiza el inventario, que les sistematiza la contabilidad. Somos la compañía que le puede ayudar con su equipo de trabajo. Somos la compañía que le puede ayudar con su departamento de recursos humanos. ¿Qué tipo de ayuda usted necesita? ¿Qué tipo de problema usted tiene con su negocio? And then, do you just realize you didn't understand what I just said right now, maybe? Exactly. How do you expect them to understand a lot of things that you talked about? Even if the Hispanic business owner speaks Spanish, does not mean they understand the tech lingo. Does not mean they understand the tech lingo. And you may say, oh, but we have a representative that when they talk to them, they make sure it's clear. You know what? Notice this. Be aware, right? Your employees, your team members, sometimes they are so much involved in the tech environment on a daily basis that they only speak lingo. And when they're on the phone, they don't always switch the modality to normal everyday language. And that's a problem. Especially if you don't realize whether that is happening or not, then that means there's no quality check on your end about how customers are being served and communicated to. How are we actually putting ourselves out there? As an example, I worked for Salesforce as an intern for whole 6 months. And ins and outs. And guess what? If somebody goes to the Salesforce website, they have to book a call. That's not how Hispanics do it. They like to call and talk to somebody right now. Maybe if they talk to somebody right now and then book the call, that is still a better experience than trying to schedule a demo. How many small business owners that are busy with lots of headaches, trying to deal with everything that has to do with their small business, how many of them do you think have a calendar that they are going to make time for 30 minutes 1 week after, 2 weeks after, when they will not even remember what your company is about anymore? Schedule a demo is not the way to connect with the Hispanic small business owners, and I'm sure with others too. I hope this helps you gain more insight as to what you could do. Make a lot of YouTube videos in Spanish because they look it up. And when they find your representative educating them, believe me, they're going to call. And when they hear that somebody answers the call, they're going to buy. And if they buy, you are winning. And if you are winning, they're going to win too, because your software provides the solution they need. All right, so I hope you take these to heart. Let me know your comments, your questions. I am always more than happy to connect, provide a short consult for you. And want to do this so that you can win and help the small Hispanic business owners win big as well. All right, I am Ovi Vasquez. And as Zig Ziglar would say, see you at the top.